Hello, how are you guys doing today? So great to see you. And I want to give a special thanks to everyone who was involved in the 5 day challenge. And you guys have heard me talk about the 5 day challenge. And yes, it was absolutely amazing. There were just so many great insights that from parents and from teens in terms of the experience of the 5 day challenge, because it was really like no other that they expected. And just to give you a brief rundown on what we did during the 5 day challenge. So there was a video that came with it in a challenge activity. And so for the first 2 days, it was activities, challenge activities for parents. And then on day 3 and 4, there were challenge activities for both the parents and the teens together. And on the 5th day, oh my goodness, the 5th day was this past Sunday. And on day 5, it was the master class and really bringing together all that we had done over the past 4 days to have a really powerful session around how to position teens to get the money for college. And we all know that parents play such an important role and part. And so we just really didn't leave any stone unturned. And it was just a great time. And so I want to thank all of you who participated and joined the challenge with me. And for those of you who missed it, well, there will be another challenge that's going to be bigger and better. And I'll be announcing that in the upcoming weeks. But certainly, if you missed it, there's another opportunity to join, and you will not want to miss it the next time it's offered for sure. So I had talked with you guys last week about juniors and how juniors get money for college. And we can think of this week as part 2 of it. And I'll be sharing with you a little bit of what I shared in the 5 day challenge masterclass, because we oftentimes don't really know what the opportunities are for our teen. And junior year is such a critical year for really positioning yourself for the big money for college. And also, if you have a sophomore, just kind of knowing what to look forward to in junior year and what's ahead. Because junior year, you can think of as really the start of the college admissions process and a time when students can really prepare themselves and really position themselves to get the money for college and to be successful in college once they're there. And we talked a little bit about that in something that's really important that I want to introduce to you guys today. And that's the whole notion of fit and how fit plays a role in terms of getting money for college and even getting into a college. I'm getting my words all mixed up today for some reason. It makes a difference with both aspects, getting in and also getting money for college. So with fit, let me just at least define for you the factors of fit, because I don't think of fit as being just one complete catch-all, because that really wouldn't capture everything about the college experience itself or just life in general. It just doesn't cover that, to think of it as one catch-all. But I think of fit in terms of 5 factors. So the first area of fit is the academic fit, because we all know that different colleges will have different curriculum that they're delivering and a different approach academically, whether it's around, the faculty student ratio, whether it's around the types of programs that they offer, whether or not there's even a writing emphasis or access to writers or writing support, whether or not there's academic learning support. And so all of those things matter in terms of the academic fit. The second area of fit would be the social fit. And social fit could be around where you can go and meet like-minded, make friends, and really be part of a community. And so that social piece can come up in different ways other than the low-hanging fruit that we think about. So the low-hanging fruit I'm referring to may be things like whether or not they have certain clubs, whether or not there's fraternal organizations or Greek letter organizations on campus, but even some things like, just the ratio of freshmen who are in on-campus housing, that plays a role in terms of the social and learning about the residential life experience, even learning about the food options, because we know that that's a big point of communication and socialization. And so just those aspects of it is what I think of in terms of the social. The third area of fit would be the financial fit. And you wouldn't necessarily think about it, but there are a lot of colleges that have different types of opportunities available for families to pay for college. And it's, for example, one of the college, not just one, but several colleges, they will have research scholarships. And so if a student is interested in doing any type of research in college, then they will offer scholarships so that it is affordable for those families who are interested in, who have teens who are interested in doing research in college. Also, there are colleges that have no loans, or perhaps they'll have some minimal policy around any loans that they offer. There are colleges that will have grants and scholarships for students who want to study abroad. So you can see that it runs the gamut in terms of some of the opportunities. And when you are looking at, the overall fit, considering that as part of your, decision around the colleges and how those colleges will meet your students' needs in those different ways. The fourth area of fit is the vocational fit. And the vocational fit is something that we sometimes may overlook because students may not really think that that's something to think about in the early years as they're putting their list together. But I encourage them to do so in a couple of different ways. So in looking at the vocational fit, that's really around thinking about what is it that you want to do after college, and how can that college support your success with, whatever you want to do after college, career-wise or professionally. And some ways to look at the colleges might be looking at what are the services and support that their career planning and placement office offers. It could be looking at the alumni network. So is this a college that has alums in a particular industry that you're interested in? Is there, if you're in a pre-professional program, what kind of tracks and offerings do they have for pre-professional programs, whether it's pre-business, whether it's pre-med, or some other pre-health profession? What do they offer in that regard? For example, even with pre-law, what are the different opportunities and networking events that you can participate in college for that vocation later? So that's the vocational fit. And then the fifth area of fit is cultural. And I separate that out from social, because especially in these times with everything that's been going on, the cultural piece is one that really matters. And it's one where I think of it as far as, how will my teen who is different in whatever regard, different, whether it's racially, ethnically, whether it's in terms of, if they're a part of the LGBTQ community, where will they feel celebrated, feel embraced, and part of that community. And not just so much from the student body itself, but also the culture of the university, the climate that they're in. And let me explain this a little bit more, just even with my own example. So, my daughter, for example, for many years, throughout pretty much K-12, was in schools where she's the only girl of color, or I should say one of a few girls of color. And, how that shaped her identity, how that shaped, what she wanted in a college experience. And so as we looked at different colleges, it was important to think about, where are those places where she, as a, independent minded Black young woman, would feel embraced, feel that she could be in a community that, where she could find like-minded friends, and even institutionally be accepted and not feel like an outsider or feel like her viewpoint wasn't valued. And so really, considering that. And the same was true, with my sons as well. And just thinking about how that would play a role in terms of the colleges that would be on their list. And so that cultural piece, really makes a huge difference. And if any of you who are watching, can agree with me on that, please text it in the chat, because I know I'm not just talking to myself in that regard. But those areas of fit, as I just shared with you, academic, social, financial, vocational, and cultural, that's what makes a difference as far as receiving those internal scholarships. And those are the scholarships that come directly from the colleges, because the fit goes both ways. And someone had asked me, how do colleges know that you're a fit? And they know. They know, because they know their institutions very well. They know the kinds of students that thrive there. They know the kinds of students that, really build community and support the community that they have there on their campuses. And so it is obvious to them. And so just think about it, even in something in terms of the academic fit. Perhaps, your teen is interested in doing film, media and film studies, for example, and they're writing about that and expressing that that's something they're interested in, but that college doesn't offer that, so they know that they don't offer that. And so academically, that's not a fit at all. Perhaps, students want to be, involved in certain pre-professional activities from a vocational fit standpoint, and they don't offer those types of tracks. So perhaps, if your teen is pre-med and very excited about doing research with professors, perhaps it's not an institution where there is a lot of that research that's going on. And so really, students need to understand that, because the colleges already know who they are, the kind of students that they want to attract and recruit. And so it's then on the student side as well to know, where is it that's a good fit for me? And that's also why I talk so much about, the college list. The college list really, it starts with the student. It doesn't start with the colleges. Students need to have a sense for who they are, what they want to do, what they like, what they dislike, some of those type of self-awareness, factors, starting to learn how to self-advocate, knowing that before putting a list together. And that starts in junior year. That starts in junior year in earnest, because that's when you start researching the colleges. That's when you start really getting an opportunity to visit in a meaningful way. And visit in a meaningful way is really about, you've done your research, you've done some homework about what that college offers, then you do your virtual visit or in-person visits when those are available, and start to get to know, is that college a fit for you and how that resonates with you. I think about it, also from an academic standpoint, when students are saying that, they're interested in a particular college and that college has an open curriculum and they really need structure. They really need to have a place where there are particular classes that they take, or at least a mix of classes within a domain so that they can figure out what they want to do, and not really thinking about that, if they have in mind that I just want to go to X college. And so the list, developing that list starts with the student, and it starts in earnest in junior year. And that's what's going to support student success with getting money for college and getting in to those colleges that are, wonderful colleges and colleges where they will thrive later. So this actually went on a different direction than I thought I would be talking to you today. But something, that's okay. That's good too. And because, the fit piece of it is just so important. It's uber important in terms of getting in and getting money for college. And so I don't want to overlook that in any way. And so some of the things that I had wanted to talk with you about as well is around, external scholarships and, external scholarships for juniors as well as for the other years as well. And so as we're thinking about junior year in particular, there are a number of scholarships that are coming up that are exciting for your junior to consider. And so we'll be talking about that in an upcoming talk that we have. So one last thing that I will share with you is around the next upcoming Get the Money for College Challenge. That will be coming up in the upcoming months. So you will be hearing me say a whole lot about that. And I'll be announcing the date for that soon. But I just want to really just thank you guys. I've been getting some great inboxes around the show and what you're learning. And I certainly look forward to bringing on guests. We're going to be starting with that in the next month. And with the guests that come on, you'll see me posting about some of you that I really want to talk with you, folks who are in family and community engagement in our schools. Also, I know that there are a number of companies that have parent groups, whether they refer to them as employee resource groups or business resource groups, having you come and just share some of the great things that you're doing, because I know that there's a lot of support out there for parents, and sometimes we don't know those places where it's available to us for support. And then there's a great study that came out recently around, just what parents are doing through the quarantine and some of the results of that research. And I'm going to be inviting them on to share as well. But I just thank you guys again. Thank you for joining me and having a little lunch break with me. So I look forward to talking with you next time, and appreciate you commenting, letting me know that you're enjoying the show, getting a lot out of it. And any questions, I look forward to answering them. So take care, and I'll talk with you guys soon.